You want to do the
Man,
disclaimer, Charles?
listen, I do. All right. So for those of you watching this video, please, for the love of God, do not go to that QR code. We have a small idea on where it takes you now. And
Don't understand what it is.
please, for the love of God, don't. But if you do, comment in the area how fucked you got. We'll figure out what to do next.
Not entirely sure if you're going to get put on a FBI watch list, but
Yeah.
quite possibly just, yeah,
I
don't
mean,
click it.
the kicker is the small story behind it. The guy who made it seems pretty chill. We had
Yeah,
assumed that it was going to be, a QR code to that person.
yeah,
I think you had
definitely
mentioned
not.
it. You had mentioned it a few times. Like
Yeah,
that would have been a way smarter marketing ploy than taking it to some random Wikipedia page in a very specific language.
yeah. It's like I can't tell if it's some kind of Middle Eastern
Sanskrit?
language, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Sanskrit
yeah,
type.
yeah.
Looks like almost
But man, but
wingdings.
that intro is killer, man. Our intros have been good. They've been really good so far. I really like it. The Dolby sound in the background for that. Whoop, that's chill, man. That's chill. So I'd like to start the show off right off the bat. Well done on the head-to-head matchups. If you guys listened to Pat and picked Pat, he was 7-7 last week. I was 9-5. So now we're gonna do this thing where I like that way better. But anywho, we're
Yeah,
tied. We're both 9-7 now. You took the Browns. They managed to pull that one off
don't
with
know
Joe
how, but yeah,
Flacco, man.
yeah, with
Joe
Flacco.
Flacco, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well,
303 yards.
you
Fucking
called them out earlier in the season. You said that they need to go out and get Flacco. They went out and got Flacco, so you did
I
something
was
right.
the Jets should have went out and got Joe Flacco.
Someone went out and got
Yeah,
Flacco.
and it took him a couple weeks to get on practice, but to for practice to get into the mindset of the NFL. It took him 2 games to get back to norm. He is a Super Bowl winning. I believe he would even. No, I don't think he got the MVP of that one. But
No, I don't think so.
that was Ray Lewis's last year.
Yeah,
We're gonna go ahead and giggle about. I even thought about that. But so Joe Flacco and the Browns, Zadarius Smith, former teammate, was super energetic about him in a pregame interview that he had.
yeah,
He brings something to the locker room, and Stefanski came out and named Joe Flacco the starter for the rest of the year. Pretty cut and dry.
yeah.
I mean that DTR guy. Okay, so there's been a couple people showing up with just some really weird outfits, right?
Outside of Greg
And
Olson? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I liked Greg's
Well,
outfit.
I'm not. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
It was
no,
flashy for a
yeah,
'70s outfit. Yeah,
damn.
sure.
Fucking, he was is John Madden for sure. That's slicker than a
Styling.
$2 smile on a $3 suit. DTR showed up to the game he was going to start as looking like a burnt Stay Puff Marshmallow.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, for
almost
sure.
no other way to explain it. Kyler Murray showing up the same way. You normally saw this shit in the NBA, but apparently now this is going to become the new norm in the NFL. How do you feel about this?
Kyler Murray showing up like he's still playing Call of Duty in the back room there,
This
like he's in the
goddamn
tent.
cotton candy Stay Puff jacket. Have you seen
Yeah.
it?
I don't understand it. Yeah. These dudes are they checked out already? And it's week what, 14? Going on 15? Just
Dude,
like over it.
DTR looks like he weighs about a buck 60. That dude got hit once and went into a concussion protocol. How is he in the
Yeah.
NFL? How is he in the NFL?
How was he drafted? He went UCLA, correct? Quarterback?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember him being anything crazy. I
No.
don't even remember any. I can't, not one stat of his pops off to me when I
No.
think of him.
And he is hurt. He is mentally broken. They've showed him a couple of times on the sideline sitting next to Joe. And
Really.
it ain't no
Yeah.
Jameis Winston and Derek Carr situation. That's for sure. Dude is fucking hurt. that he got hurt and lost his starting job. The only reason he got the damn starting job was because old boy got hurt.
Yeah. Deshaun went down.
And then bro, he was like the third string quarterback, if we're being honest, because Deshaun went down and then one of the Taylors went down that I can never remember which one when they were playing for the Giants. And I think one, I don't even think.
Yeah, because Tyrod plays for the Giants tonight. That I don't know. Did they actually say it was DeVito or is it Tyrod Taylor? Because you said that he was full participant in practice. I thought Taylor was anyway.
I haven't checked that out yet.
Yeah, I guess maybe they haven't announced that yet. The game starts in 22 minutes or no, 7:15.
It was out 90 minutes. Yeah, these reports get dropped 90 minutes before kickoff, so they're definitely out. You go ahead and pull those up if you are. I'll keep talking about this DTR.
I got the other interesting thing was I brought up. I guess Paul had a little post there about who are your three for the Heisman, or not the Heisman, but the MVP. And for some reason, I said Lamar. And I looked at Lamar's stats, and I'm like, oh, hell no. He's got like 13 fumbles.
We'll break that into. You got to give me a minute to think about it. I know two off the top of my head, but the third one's going to be tough. I'm going to have to think about it. Definitely going to have to think about it. Maybe a dark horse. Who knows? There's also somebody else that needs to be talked about too. I like it. I like this. I like that conversation. We'll definitely shoot that off for the moon. I think I did find my third though. But anywho, his DTR's attitude on the sideline is just it appears toxic at times. Like it's but I mean, the dude needs 2 years to just eat at an NFL facility before he can get touched again.
A bitter child. Oh, yeah. Trevor Siemian.
He was part of that scenario too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, DTR was not the way he's acting to me in an opinion-based watching from fucking my warm home. I get it, but it's very unbecoming of an NFL player that's going to be there for a minute. Like you went and spent one whole fucking game check on that outfit and now you're pissed you got to pay it back over the next 6 months. That's not our problem. Like why are you blowing smoke?
They must have cut the other guy. As of right now, it's just Flacco, DTR, and then Watson's on the IR. They must have cut somebody. Which I can't even find him on here. That's why the NFL, that's why ESPN does their weird depth charts. Once a guy's cut, it doesn't even show him on the roster. It's only active roster, which I guess is fine.
What about IR though? I think old boy went on the IR. Are they showing you IR?
Yeah, it shows IR. They got quite a few guys.
The Browns have been IR. Smoked this year, bro. Strength and conditioning in the NFL needs to be talked about. Yeah. I get that these are human beings and I get that you're giving them an off season, but you're paying them too much money to not be great in the off season as well. If I'm paying you millions of dollars, you don't have an off season. You have holidays. You have off days.
Yeah.
You don't have an off season. Are you kidding? I promise you, this is why some of these injuries happen, right?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
They've made it so they just feel like, it's ugly to me. It's ugly to me. If you don't see the Bosa's taking days off.
Oh, absolutely not. No. Here's something that me and a coworker were talking about today about the Packer game. He goes, he's a Bears fan. He goes to me, he goes, oh, the Packers are playing the Giants? And I said, yeah. He goes, oh, that field sucks. I can't believe that I go, for one, Watson's not playing, so he can't pull his hammy again.
Jones isn't playing.
Somebody's going down for the Packers because didn't last week Nico Collins go down on that same turf against the Jets?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a cleats situation?
Is it?
Because it's regulated. So this is an NFL thing. Like they need to, are they ensuring the cleats used don't damage the turf, but in doing that, you're potentially
damaging the players,
your $1 million investments? Are you more concerned? This is the crazy thing about this. Are you more concerned about the cost of field maintenance, or are you concerned about player safety? Let's just call it what it is here. My money right now for the NFL is on field maintenance over player safety. The owners pay the players, not the NFL. The NFL pays the owners. The NFL maintains those fields. I don't think the NFL thinks this is even their fucking problem. I think they feel this is a players and owners problem.
No, because if they did feel like it was their problem, don't you think that they'd be worried about the product that's on the field? Their product is what brings them in money, but they don't
Right.
care about that. They care about ratings and all this other jazz, this fun stuff
It's
that's going on
just
out there.
it's so mind-numbing, bro. You have
Yeah.
all of this money to take care of the situation. Why are you not taking care of the situation? And the moment they do, they're going to take money away from one of their fucking donations, right? Oh, we can't give money to this much money to inner cities this year because we had to maintain the field in a better way for the players.
Oh,
No, just
they'll
take the
find a there's
fucking
a
money out of your
loophole.
pocket, Jack.
Right.
Jesus Christ. It's not going to hurt you in the long run. Spending 100 million today ain't even going to fucking feel you 2 years from Friday.
The bad thing is too, is you got owners like in Vegas, you got owners in New York City where these guys have these incredibly crazy amounts of influx into income. Like they can just put any crap product out there and they're going to make money because they're in such a giant
Yeah.
city, LA, but even Vegas. It's their money pits. Like they don't care
Yeah.
what they put out there on the field because people are still going to come anyway for the venue. They don't
And
give a shit,
I think the further I've dove into this, the further the realizations have come, the more I'm starting to feel bad about how I've reacted to players doing what's best for players. They are literally created in a system meant to benefit off of them at a maximum rate with no thought process whatsoever of their future or anyone else's future but
oh
the
no.
money. So I
That's
think,
why
I
you,
mean, as a team fan, bro, I don't know. I got to be upset they're not on my team anymore, but I don't think I could be mad at players anymore.
no, I mean, are you starting to get what Bakhtiari's spitting out there now? You're starting to understand what he's saying when he's, yeah, man. Like they don't care. They don't care if we
Yeah.
get hurt. Just another guy on the IR. Another guy freaking tore his Achilles. How many more people need to tear their Achilles this year before they figure it out?
How many more years do they need? Man, I haven't watched. Michigan's up to a 56% chance to win, to beat Alabama now. The over under is up 45 and a half.
Nice. So
I haven't
jumped about
watched the
2
ES I haven't
points.
watched ESPN in
Oh God,
weeks.
no. No.
It's just not something I do anymore. At one point, I seen clips that the College Game Day was yanking on Pete Thamel now as some big college name.
I don't understand this.
What
Okay,
the
so
hell's up with that? So the dude's got an inside with Joe Potato, illegally handing down information throughout ESPN, and now we're not me. I feel bad for this.
they've already tainted their name to the point where I think a lot of people just quit watching them to begin with. People honestly can't listen to the banter back and forth either. It's gotten super political, super freaking personal. For one, they're
Yeah.
attacking players on a personal level. That
They're
rubs people
attacking
the wrong
players,
way.
they're attacking fans by name.
Yeah,
They're
people's
singling
characters.
out fans as if that's their fucking job. Who cares
Oh
if
yeah,
the fan called into a goddamn radio show, said what was on his mind? Fans are passionate. Fans pay the fucking bills.
I would love to have people call into our show.
We
If it
will.
ever gets to that point, you guys start commenting in the YouTube pages on these videos. If you want to call in, we will get you the number. We'll get you a number you can call in. We'll let you know what time
Yeah.
we're live. We'll post it on our Facebook, our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything. So you guys know, not the phone number. We'll get a 1-800 number, but at some point
Yeah.
we'll post it where you guys can call in because Charles and I would love to take calls from anybody.
And all the security got approved for the e-commerce site for our merchandise. So that's moving along crisply. We're right on track for our January 10th-ish opening. So that's fantastic also. We'll be able to establish sponsor links on that as well. So that's neat. I found that out. But anywho, where were we in the football world?
We're kicking back and forth. This thing about the NFL not caring about player safety and about the players themselves.
You had just mentioned David Bakhtiari, and he is a perfect example. Green Bay Packer fans, we have a small issue with the amount of money we're paying David to not play, but we've got to take into consideration that the only reason he's not playing is because of this shit ass fucking turf. He is one of the victims of this turf, and offensive linemen and defensive players seem to be on the end of it more often than not.
Right. It sounds like the guy is one knee injury away from losing his entire career. Maybe that's why he is the way he is.
I mean, at this point, if we see David Bakhtiari, it's going to be on $1 less than what he's got.
Sure.
Which if I was him and gathering the information I have on who he is via X, he ain't going to do that. But I don't think the market is what he realizes it is for him anymore because of the fact of injuries. So it'll be interesting to see this David situation. We're in good position in the draft regardless. If we were in top 10, we'd be in great position. But Green Bay very well might make the fucking playoffs. Here we go. We were looking at a number 7 draft pick, potentially 6 a few weeks ago. And this week, due to what we've mentioned more than a few times on this show about the NFC being more top heavy than belly to feet heavy.
Well, if only the Raiders weren't so shitty, we'd be looking at an even potentially better position than we are right now. Let's not even talk about the fact that it was 3-0, huh?
Let's do it. Let's side quest into the Raiders. I love this.
What a turd of a football game, because for one.
There has been a whole bunch of hype about Pierce staying in that locker room because he's the guy, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And
there's smoke there too.
I'm here to tell you, he is not the guy.
No.
You got to think of the head coach in the NFL as a parent, right? Everybody wants that fucking parent who's your best friend. But let's be real. How many of those people are doing okay today? They're not doing that great, right? There's fucking eggs in every carton. I get it. But it's the same way with head coaches in the NFL. You have to be able to coach the players, not just talk to the players. And I think Pierce can talk to the players really well. And he can show the players really well. But he cannot coach the players yet. This is a yet world, right? He just got into the coaching situation. He was the best case scenario for Mark Davis in a really shitty world. Mark Davis wants fucking Gruden back. And I'm more than sure from what I'm reading, bro, Gruden might be back next year.
Could you imagine? That's going to make headlines for sure.
Oh, it's definitely going to make headlines, but it's looking like Gruden is about to win his case against the NFL. For one.
Yeah, he had a case against them to begin with. He had a pretty good shot of winning this, and I can't believe it's actually taken this long.
Yeah, I guess there is enough information that proves that there was collusion inside the ownership in an attempt to remove Gruden from the Raiders because they were afraid of him.
I don't know.
I can't.
I think we all kind of knew that, or either that, or it was something to do with McDaniels too. You call it what you want.
I mean, there's a whole bunch on the table at this point.
Yeah.
You had the entire situation with old boy from the Raiders. I'm pretty sure he's still in that fucking insane asylum. Has anybody even heard from that dude in a while?
No.
At one point, bro, he was on
wild
X.
enough. We're gonna have to dive into that whole video and that.
He was screaming that Mark Davis had some kind of fucking Epstein shit going on.
Maybe, I don't know. And it's it is crazy. It's beyond crazy, but is he insane, or is he just reaching, grasping at straws, trying to like make himself like a name for himself, keep his name out there, keep him relevant? Maybe he fell off. I don't know.
He was a pretty electric player. He was
Yeah.
all signs were pointing in a very good direction. I think the sad story here, which I believe when we dig into this further, we will come to find, I believe this dude is suffering from an extreme version of CTE. Without a doubt, right? An example I want to use for this gentleman is like some of the same shit veterans are suffering with, combat veterans, in regards to hearing and hearing loss, right? In the beginning, the foundation of the government was, we issue you earplugs, you didn't use them, that's not our fault. Without the realization of how the fuck are we going to walk around a combat zone with earplugs?
Right.
So that allowed the waters to become muddy. It wasn't so clear anymore. So cases are beginning to push forward with this, which is fantastic news. Hashtag go veterans go. Shopmyexchange.com, by the way. Definitely hit that shit up. I did all my Christmas shopping on there this year. Let me tell you, getting that $700 ice for $1.23 was fan-fucking-tastic.
You're gonna be wearing a chain soon?
Bro, I can't wait.
I don't even know. I don't. You're just going to entertain people with what's going to happen. Don't lead anybody on. Don't tease them. Don't tease them.
But anywho, in the same scenario, that is this gentleman with the CTE, I believe he was living in a world where he thought he was stronger than God. And that may have affected his hits to the head more than others in an extreme
Quite possibly, yeah.
I'm thinking this, if we're going down a crazy rabbit hole with the Raiders, but yeah, it's super frustrating, to be honest with you. How do you have Devontae Adams, bro? Devontae Adams is as good as Jamar Chase, if not better.
Yeah,
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. So utilization of his skills are fucking terrible.
They're just, his usage since the change of coaching hasn't gone up. Other players who were not there, people were wondering about, Hunter Renfrow, yada, yada, yada. Come to find out, these players aren't making the plays.
But does it also speak to Rodgers' character and his playability that no matter how many people were guarding Adams, he would still get his 10, 12 catches a game?
It 100% speaks volumes to who Aaron Rodgers is as a quarterback.
For sure.
I cannot agree with you more. And another really good example of this is Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson left Green Bay, or Green Bay said goodbye to Jordy Nelson at a time where all of us fans were like, what the fuck? He's producing. Right. But it was Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball.
Wasn't Greg Jennings the first to leave that Rodgers had a connection with? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was.
That whole thing is really upsetting too, though. What they did to Greg in that Super Bowl was ridiculous. Or in the playoffs there. It was
bitter. He's a little bit. He was a little bitter about that. Just a little.
But yeah, 1 year without Rodgers, and Jordy's like, yeah, this ain't my life no more. He came back and retired as a Packer.
Yeah, he had the injury too, and I guess that was on turf too. Tore his ACL. I don't understand. I guess you can sit there and hover around the player safety thing all you want if you are an NFL owner or you're in the commissioner's office or something. But to me, it just seems like you said it's a hard pill to swallow if you're an athlete and they're not looking out for your best interest. It's got to be mind-numbingly just it's just got a wrench at you. Like for your contract negotiations, you're like, I'm going to go take this little bit amount of money to like possibly lose my career and never play again if I get hurt on turf because these assholes want more points scored or they want this or they want that. These guys can run faster, score more points. Is that what it's about? What's the benefit of
Man,
turf over grass?
there's got to be so much more science into this that just the basic fan and even your superstar player is failing to acknowledge,
I don't know what it is. That's why
at
I'm
bare minimum we're
yeah.
not being told, because there's got to be some other science behind it other than just the money. You look at what Wisconsin's doing to their field right now. Yeah, they're putting heating pads underneath the mother trucker. You can't tell me that you can't manage a field to be better.
Is Michigan's half and half?
I'm not sure.
I think Michigan's is half grass, half it's some kind of weird
Right.
hybrid turf
You know
shit.
what you do get with the turf, though, and this is something too that I remember watching a segment on it moons ago about them damn rubber pellets and how that ingesting them rubber pellets the way they do leads to significant problems in the future with their insides, including cancer. You're eating rubber. That's what they
Well,
are.
sure, you're carcinogens.
Those,
Yeah.
for those of you who do not know, those little black pellets, those little black fucking specks you see all over the players, and when the players scoot their foot across the grass or the artificial turf, those are shredded tires. Those aren't used shredded or new shredded tires. Those are used shredded tires. Okay. I'm sure they get cleaned and I'm sure they're fucking sterilized before they're dumped on the. They drive across the goddamn fields with Toro fucking vacuums cleaning them up.
Yeah.
Right. It's really bad. And
Almost like it's almost like a Zamboni out there at the end of the game or some weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. You don't see that on real turf, though. You don't see
No.
that on real grass. There's too much here for there not to be something. And again, bro, I can't stress the fact enough that we're talking about millionaires, in most cases, billionaires.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They could do this in an off season and no one would know until you got on the fucking grass. They have so much money. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But back on the Green Bay thing now. There's one more thing I do want to say about Davante Adams. We've touched about it multiple times on this. We've talked about it on other podcasts as well.
Yeah.
Davante Adams is over if he does not leave. If he does not leave if he does not leave Las Vegas, he has to leave the Raiders. He needs to go. He either needs to come back home.
Yeah.
He needs to come back. He needs to come back home, right? Or, and it'd fucking kill me to say this, he needs to go to Dallas or San Francisco.
I was gonna say Dallas.
I think he needs to go to Dallas. He needs to reconnect with Mike McCarthy down there. And we could talk about this too a little bit.
One that would be crazy if you went there.
Mike Evans.
Could you imagine him and Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's going to retire in Miami, though.
No, I'm talking about Davante
going to Miami.
Yeah, because they could have 2 number ones.
You could trade Waddle and Mostert to Las Vegas.
That would make them a better team
with a draft pick for Davante Adams. And who doesn't do that?
Nobody. That's a great trade.
Who doesn't do that? Yeah. That would be insane.
Because Hill would he draws double teams. Adam, you'd have to choose one. Hill's going to bring you
could do mid-post routes with Adams.
Yeah.
Long go routes and long post with Tyreek, and you would have single coverage on Davante Adams every fucking time.
Hey,
you would have single coverage on Davante Adams so much that in the second half, it would open up Tyreek for 3 catches and he'd still be over 120 yards a fucking game.
Oh, he'd probably be averaging like 40 yards a catch. Easy. Yeah.
Easily. Because you're eventually going to have to keep that safety down for Adams. You can't keep giving up 20 fucking yards a game. That's what they're missing with Waddle. Waddle's got the speed. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have the height to, the Davante Adams on Miami would be sick. And he could get some real Taco Bell. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He'd like that too. Yeah. if you're not coming home, bro, get the fuck out of Vegas, dude.
Yeah,
You're not
do
coming home,
something for
man.
you
Get
and
the
your
hell out of
family, man.
Vegas.
I know you like Vegas, but it's just
Jesus
not for
Christ.
you.
Don't
You
go
can
to the
always buy a
Saints.
house there.
Don't
You
go
can
to
always
the
keep your house
Saints.
there, man. Yeah.
Don't go. Yeah, he bought a house in Green Bay too. Who cares?
That's what I mean. He moved there to be next. Is Derek Carr really your buddy? He's not doing so hot down in New Orleans, so there's
I
that.
think so, dude. I think Adams and Carr are fucking solid, right? Because the moment fucking the Raiders did this shit with Carr, Adams isn't Adams anymore. Like the few games I've been watching that I've got to watch,
Well, he's
he's
got
dropping
Aiden
passes,
O'Connell
dude.
throwing him the ball. Like
Now, I'm talking
sucks.
about his drop passes. I think he's got 3 or 4, right? But these are like, I think 2 of them were tutties,
You
bro, like
saying
wide
his
open
focus
tutties.
is
I think
muddled?
with all the noise,
Yeah.
with all the smoke, with everything that's going on, you know he hears the career is fucking gonna be gone if he stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hell, I'll be interested to see what happens with him this offseason. He deserves to go somewhere great. Division leaders, Cowboys 10-3, the Lions, not for long, 9-4. Tampa Bay 6-7. Wild card, Eagles 10-3, Vikings 7-6, not for long. Green Bay 6
not for
not for
long.
long.
Nice, yeah.
And then the rest of the teams are all 6-7. So I believe we have 2 head-to-head wins. We have a head-to-head win with the Rams. So even if we lose tonight, we're still in the fucking wild card at 6-7. I don't see us losing this one tonight. I
know they would have to let Barkley run wild on him tonight in order for them to win.
I mean, said that though last year in London, fucking New York ended up beating Aaron Rodgers.
Well, guess what? There's one thing that the Packers suck. Well, I can't really say suck at. They're not good.
There's a lot going against the Giants too. I think they're 0-8 at home in primetime games.
The Packers' run defense is not good. They don't give up points though. They're in the top 10 now.
I hear you when you say that, and there's maybe 3 drives a game where I actually see it, but otherwise, dude, we're buttoning shit up. We're looking like we could play spoiler in the wild card round. I'm excited, dude. And I can't say if we stay healthy. We haven't been healthy since fucking week 3 or week 2. Bakhtiari went down in week 2. So we haven't had our best players since week 1.
You want to break down the NFL power rankings while we're going on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Where do you think?
I'm going to guess out loud. I have not seen it. Guessed out loud. I have not seen it. Green Bay is probably around 12 or 13. San Francisco 1, Cowboys 2, the Ravens 3, or Miami 3, the Ravens 4, Browns 5.
Pretty close.
Eagles got to be in there somewhere. I think Eagles are probably 5, Browns are 6.
We got Green Bay 12, Cleveland 11, Houston 10. Buffalo 6-6, and they got them at 9. That's crazy. Jacksonville at 8, which is because you got Kansas City, Detroit, Dallas. Man, Detroit at 9. This is not updated. 9-4. Detroit Lions. Cowboys at 5. I would put the Cowboys at 3. Baltimore,
it's definitely not
Miami. I got Cowboys over the Dolphins, for God's sakes. And then they got Eagles 2. Yeah, Niners. These aren't updated, obviously, because of the games from this week. But yeah, you're pretty close. Pretty freaking close.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, too, we've given them smoke, and they deserved it. And they walked through them flames unburnt.
Nobody expected them to win 3 in a row. That was their gauntlet. No way.
Mm-hmm. So 3 weeks ago, we're sitting here talking about Philly coming out of this gauntlet 3-0, and I had assumed without a doubt that the Dallas Cowboys were going to be 0-3 in this.
Hey, Charles, how many wins do you think the Packers got versus teams with a winning record?
5.
4. But how many do the Cowboys have?
2.
Yes.
2. Arguably
because
won.
they went
Because
and lost.
Seattle is well below 500 now.
Yeah.
And they keep getting smacked. There's not a horizon for
It's
this
just
Seattle
fun.
team.
It's just funny to me that oh man, they just bashed on him the entire season. Then all of a sudden, now that it's a turnaround time, it's like Jordan Love has to be in the conversation for MVP. He has to be. How can he not? Where is Green Bay right now without Jordan Love?
Oh yeah, I don't disagree.
Are they? Do they even win a game?
I think it's no. With no.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about though? Because if we didn't have Jordan Love, that meant Aaron Rodgers stayed.
No, I'm saying Jordan Love goes down first week of the season like Rodgers did. Did they win a game this year?
Oh fuck no.
Exactly.
Fuck no.
But you can't say that about the Jets because they've won. But it's just that there's such a talent discrepancy between number one for the Packers right now and their backup that it's not even fair. They would have to go and get a veteran.
Who is that motherfucker? Who was he again? I
Who's
got
that?
his card somewhere. Our
The backup? Oh, yeah. Sean Clifford?
Cliffy. Oh, Cliffy. Cliffy would have got a win.
He probably could have beat the Bears.
Cliffy would have got a win. Yeah, Cliffy would have beat the Bears. I don't want to put too much smoke in Jordan Love's hair, but Cliffy would have been fine. He would not have been Green Bay's answer. Hell no. We would be looking at one of these quarterbacks in the draft.
Will you be in the top 5 picks? We'd probably be like what Arizona is, 2-8 or 2-9.
Oh, yeah, and I think our coaching staff is much smart is smart enough to understand that the Bears were where they were. Right. What about Justin Fields, man? What about Justin Fields? How are we taking this? I think the Bears game is a smoke. I think the Lions game is a smoke game from them. The Bears felt robbed from the first game. Had the Bears won the first game, the Lions would have won this game. I believe that with everything inside me.
They should have been 2-0 against the Lions, actually.
Congratulations, Chicago Bears, your first 2-game win streak in 707 days. Well done.
2 years, huh?
2 fucking years, man.
Almost 2 years.
DeVito looks to be the starter for New York.
Okay, confirmed. Yeah.
DeVito is the starter. That is correct.
Chicken cutlets at halftime.
DeVito is the starter. Okay, so something you had touched on earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Top 3 MVP.
Yeah. Go ahead if you want to.
Right now,
from what we've seen. Yep.
Brock Purdy is my number 1. Tyreek Hill is my number 2. Dak Prescott is my number 3. And the reason I've got Dak Prescott as my number 3 is more so because of Big Mike. I would love to see Mike McCarthy be one of the few coaches. I think there's only 2, maybe 3. 2 I know for sure. But anyways, to be a head coach and coach an MVP for 2 different teams. So he coached Aaron Rodgers for his MVP. And depending on what the Dallas Cowboys do to end this season and the first round of the playoffs, I get that this award is won in the regular season, but it is arguably won or is arguably solidified in the first round of the playoffs. I think Dak Prescott on this list, even though I've got him 3rd, has the best chance in the end. And I know the numbers right now, the betting favorites are for Brock Purdy. But it's going to, I think the team that is the 49ers is going to hurt Brock Purdy just as much as Tua Tagovailoa is going to take votes away from Tyreek Hill. Because we also have to remember, I believe CMC is number 4 on this list. If you told me to pick 4, it would have been Purdy, T. Hill, Dak, CMC. And because CMC is 4, I think that takes votes away from Purdy. Tua takes votes away from T. Hill, which leaves Dak Prescott for the podium.
Yeah, if somehow, some way Dallas ends up coming home with the number 1 seed, I think Dak Prescott's going to win it pretty easily.
Yes. My other thing too, and the reason, listen, I understand who Jalen Hurts is. And I picked Philly to win. I figured, I didn't realize how horrid this gauntlet was going to be. And watching the game, I cannot stress enough, and it's the same thing with Kansas City, how much losing your offensive coordinator affects the game. And the play calling for the Philadelphia Eagles has affected it. I think Jalen Hurts has more turnovers this year because his offensive coordinator is attempting to do more with him than necessary, right? I don't get it, but I never saw Jalen Hurts as the MVP. When I'm watching him on my fantasy league, yeah, he's grabbing fucking 30 points a game. I think he's averaging almost 30.
But they got to play from behind. This is that, you know what he reminds me of?
He's got fucking 4 to 12 points negative from turnovers a fucking game so far, bro.
Yeah, you know what he reminds me of is when Stafford was for the Lions, and he would have these absolute dog shit first halves, and he'd be playing from behind, and then all of a sudden the dude would have 30 points by the end of the game.
Yeah.
But you're like, but somehow this team's defense is good enough, they were winning those games.
Yeah. When I see Jalen Hurts, honestly, I see a mobile Brett Favre. Okay. I see a mobile Brett Favre, and Favre won a Super Bowl. Yeah. Favre won a Super Bowl. I get that too. Yeah. But I think when it boils down to, did they bring Hank Williams back or is that Chris Stapleton for the Monday night?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they brought all Hank Williams Jr. back. I miss that guy. He had some good songs, because I do not think that's Hank Williams Jr.
No, remember they told him he lost his contract because of the whole racial thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Fucking cancel culture. Yep. Maybe he wasn't, or is this another Hank Moody scenario? Did you ever hear that? Hear what, you know who Hank Moody is? That's a golfer, right? Yeah. But he had a show on Sirius XM, and I guess one of the listeners or somebody had commented multiple times that he doesn't talk enough about women's golf. And he goes, "Why would I talk about women's golf? I can tell you who's going to win. It's going to be a Korean." Or he said, "It's going to be one of them Asians."
So he threw himself under the bus right away, huh?
Oh, bro. And I was like, fuck, dude, like a couple weeks prior to this, him and I had a conversation on X, and I was like, hell yeah, Hank. All right, man. Because he does a lot for the veterans. And I was cutting the grass, and I was listening to his show, and I don't remember the original title, but halfway through the show, the title switched to like, "The PGA is trash. They don't support veterans." That was just the title of his show. It was funny. But then he went and put his foot in his mouth,
Yeah. Couldn't you just keep your mouth shut for a little while longer?
It's like they tell you in HR, right? You got to know the room, man. You got to know the room, and not everything is off-putting in almost every scenario. Something else I'd like to bring up too. I'd like to touch on this. I don't think enough people talk about this. DK Metcalf is a bitch. What do you think about that?
I don't watch a lot of Seahawks games, so I have no idea.
So I'll tell you, I'll throw a little color into this story. So basically, DK Metcalf thinks he is the best NFL player in the world. And he talks shit an ungodly amount until one person fucking stops him, because he's not the greatest NFL player in the world. He's big and he's fast, but like, shut the hell up. So then he'll get in the other dude's face and cause his team a penalty. And it happens every fucking time without a goddamn doubt.
So did this happen in the Niners game too?
It happened in the Niners. It's happened 4 out of the last 5 weeks, right? All you got to do is walk up to DK Metcalf and go, "Yo, bro, I heard
you ain't
your
number
balls are smaller than a field mouse's nuts." That's all you got to say to him. And then he's going to try and run smoke at you, and you're going to get fucking penalties. The dude is just a bitch, right? He thinks he's the god on the football field. And the moment somebody contains him one time, he chooses violence. Yep, I can't beat you on the football field. I got fucking 2.002% body fat, so I'm going to beat you up physically. What fucking world do you live in, dude? You're a fucking millionaire sitting there being a little bitch. Yeah, I think DK Metcalf is a little bitch. I'm sorry. And it's funny too. Some of the comments might ensue. Oh yeah, say that to his face. I would. What is he going to do? Try and beat me up? He already proved that on the field. He can't do that very well either. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think these players deserve a lot of smoke when they talk smack and they talk shit. And they're going to get it back from the fans. They're going to get it back from the players. It's just inevitable. It is what it is.
And the thing is, too, is it's not very smart. I know as a defender,
you're hurting your team.
You're hurting your team more than you're helping your team, bro. That one touchdown you had, right? Great. But the penalty on the drive that could have gotten you another touchdown may have won that game.
Here's the other one.
Yeah.
What's up with this? Is one, I don't know if you could touch on this one too. This is another one that bothers me. Like an offensive lineman that protects his quarterback when they give up the sack and the D lineman is on him and he's doing his like belt thing, and then they shove the defensive lineman away. It's, dude, come on now. You really, that dude doesn't need you to protect him like a fucking overgrown stepfather. You don't need to do that. Just let it be.
Yeah.
You're in the NFL.
You hear this, in the moment penalties, right?
Yeah, a lot. You hear it actually. It's petty.
What fucking moment? It's a football game.
The only moment the Super Bowl, maybe.
Football game.
Sure, the Super Bowl.
Even that. It's a fucking football game. Whatever's happening on that field is not going to affect your life moving forward. And that moment, we're talking about that specific moment, right? What does it matter?
They play with passion, I guess. That's all you can say. That they live it and they play it. I don't go to work every day and get in people's face, and like when I do something cool, I don't just get out there and start flexing.
You see that type of environment in the military on the battlefield type shit. So it's just, what the
oh, you saw it in the Army Navy game. Those dudes are laying on each other after they made those tackles.
Oh,
and
man.
people were asking why. I'm like, you guys have no idea why.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I love that game.
That's because they don't understand. It's different. They just don't get that it's different.
Go Army, beat Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. My wife ordered a pizza, and my Ring doorbell through the Alexa is showing me.
It's telling you.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know where my wife is, though. Oh, the Ring shut off, so I'm guessing it should be fine. Yeah. Yep. She's opening the door now. Hell yeah. So, anywho, okay. Kansas City. Boo hoo.
Okay.
Playoff road bound.
This is breaking. Did you hear this about the Ohtani? About his.
I've been hearing some
$680 million of his salary.
Bro, listen, dude. I've heard some crazy things about this dude being a god.
No.
Listen, he is deferring. He is deferring. Yeah. He's basically taking $2 million a year
because he doesn't need it.
Deferring the rest for the last 10 years. Now, the interesting part of this, bro, check this out, is that in 10 years, it's going to be 680 million. And I heard the numbers. They're not exact, but I heard the numbers. Wow, what a fucking miss. What a miss. God damn it, Jordan. But anyways. So the interest on just a basic savings account on that, bro, is going to be $1.2 billion. But he's taking that payment from what everyone understands interest free. So that means the Dodgers arguably are going to make, from my understanding with this, and we'll talk about this again later on because I'm definitely digging more into this, but I think the Dodgers are set to make like $1.2 billion in a 10-year stretch off that 680 million. He just taken the 680 million. It puts the Dodgers $46 million under the expected cap they were about to hit, bro. Super player friendly. The Dodgers are like, dude, Shohei Ohtani is going to be in the World Series 6 out of the next 10 years. And the only thing that's going to, I think, stop it from being 10 out of the next 10 years is the random Arizona story. And
that's been happening every year, though.
Yeah, but baseball's sick of it, dude. The money's over it. Like I said, this is very interesting. We're definitely going to talk about this more. Last year's World Series,
the Yankees, Boston, they've been doing it for years and it doesn't work.
Last year's World Series,
Padres.
Yeah, last year's World Series was the absolute worst in a World Series world. The ratings were trash, the money was trash, everything about it. The MLB is not happy. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, but if they're going to manipulate contracts, that's collusion.
No, this was fucking Shohei Ohtani being player friendly. It doesn't. The thing is, we could look at it all we want and call it retarded.
Well, I'm just saying it doesn't matter. They can load their team up. The Yankees have done it for years. What's that? It doesn't matter if they can't play together.
No, I understand what you're saying. I get that. But
the
Dodgers have been more successful doing this than any other team. They've won a World Series doing it in the last, and they've been there
one time.
Yeah, but they just started it 4 years ago?
No, the Dodgers have been spending shitloads of money for 10, 15 years.
Irving just got there a handful of years ago.
Dude, the Manny Machado, they gave all these guys these big lucrative deals. We can go down the line over the last 5-10 years. They've been giving them all. Look at the pitchers they gave all them.
No, I'm not arguing. No, listen, I'm not arguing that the Dodgers have been giving money away. I'm saying that they've won a World Series because of it. They're not doing what the Yankees have done or have tried to do. The Yankees are in a boat of their own. I don't know if there's enough time left in the show to get that.
Okay, they did it one time, but the Yankees did it one time. Boston did it one time. We've proven that spending a shitload of money doesn't work.
I'm on the opposite side of it. I've seen it work outside of the Yankees from 2009 to 2020. I look at it a little differently. If you're getting a World Series every 5 years, you're doing right. The amount of money you're making in that World Series comps.
Yeah, but that's not. 10. You just said they're going to be in the World Series 9 out of 10 years. Come on now.
No, I said 6 out of 10, and if injuries and random Arizona stories.
Yeah, but that is baseball. Be the other 4. Well, that's not winning. That's baseball.
What do you mean that's not getting to the World Series 6 out of 10?
The next 6 years, if they make it 2 times, I would be surprised.
Ooh, I wouldn't. Yeah, we'll see.
Because here's the thing: there's a lot more teams in baseball that are going to be willing to spend money because of what you just said. Because baseball wants to be competitive. You still have the Braves. You still have the Cubs wanting to spend a shitload of money. The Cubs want to spend a lot of money. Now Soto's off the table, so they're not going to be able to go out and get him. But what say they bring in the polar bear to Chicago? Alonso. What if they go out and they get someone else? These teams are going to start loading up at some point with pitchers to counteract the whole Shohei thing. And the problem with Shohei is he's not going to be pitching for at least 2 years. He won't be a starter 2 years with that surgery. He'll have to do a rehab.
I'm not a fucking Dodgers fan. I'm not happy it's happening either. You don't got to tell me things I already know. I'm just sitting here telling you, paying for a baseball team like that benefits more often than not, unless you're the fucking New York Yankees. If you take the New York Yankees out of this mix, the teams that have gone all out and paid big, outside of the Braves, who had a fantastic fucking farm system, but they're dwindling.
The one that we can say off the top of our heads, Charles, that absolutely paid for a World Series, and that's the Chicago Cubs, because they were 100 years in.
But that's just what I mean. What's the value of a World Series, though, bro? You got to tell me one World Series in 10 years is obviously worth it.
I can't imagine that baseball that much money. Is baseball even that popular?
Dude, baseball makes a buttload of money.
Because they play 162 games.
The scuttlebutt is that a baseball player can be whatever he wants, but not every professional athlete can be a baseball player.
Isn't that crazy though, that there's this, you can go to a baseball game and you can see the stands in the stadium and you're like, there's 58 people there. How is this team making money? TV rights, media rights.
These refs are disgusting.
That's why you shouldn't be watching baseball.
Nothing about that ball was catchable, bro. Oh my God. These refs are disgusting. I'm sick of talking about the refs in the NFL. It is mind-numbing how terrible they are.
Here goes the Packers not being able to stop the run as well. Great.
Oh yeah, that'll be the story of the show. But something before we branched off on a crazy baseball story. Kansas City, boo-hoo playoff road, right? Check this out. Why is there so much smoke with Kansas City having to play a game on the road in the playoffs? Patrick Mahomes has never played on the road. I get that. But we don't know if he can win in a playoff atmosphere on the road if he's never been there.
They clearly can't win a road game in the NFL this year either.
We can't say they haven't been getting fucked this year. Tony has fucked them hard twice, 2 games. We fucked them in the Lions game.
They could do something about that. Talked about this. They could do something about that. Cut them. Get rid of them.
Yeah. Tony has hurt them more than he's helped them.
Yeah, I showed you his stats. That is pathetic. Yeah. That is absolutely pathetic.
I don't understand. I just don't get it. I really don't. And the NFL is now opening up an investigation into the sideline antics and what fucking old boy said and his coach said, and they're going to get smoked for it.
They already are. The fans are already like kicking back, and they were getting the smoke thrown right back in their face because of it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with it. It's fine with me.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he was offsides. And like, you want to go back to the Kansas City game, and I get that. But what way too many people are failing to realize and understand is the only reason they were in that position to make that throw was because of a fucked up personal foul roughing the passer call that gave them the extra 15 that put them in position for a deep ball play.
Nice. Yeah.
Had you not gotten that bogus penalty, you would have never been in position for the uncalled, the missed penalty, right? This was a missed call. It wasn't a no call. It was a missed call.
Breaking news. Drake May forgoes the bowl game to get ready for the NFL draft. The first one to commit to the NFL draft. First quarterback.
Caleb Williams too, I thought. I expect Caleb. He ain't playing in the bowl game. He's already said he's not playing in the bowl game.
But does that mean I thought he was transferring?
No, he didn't put his name in the transfer. No, he would have had to have
the draft though.
But he has until I think April 4th to do that.
No, but I'm saying that Drake May says he's focusing on the draft, so he's letting all the NFL teams know that he's draft ready or whatever.
Smart on his part, but the moment Caleb foregoed the bowl, that was pretty much definitive that he's headed to the NFL. It's not
like he was going to compete with Drake May.
And two, I'm thinking like, is the smoke around Caleb Williams simply because he said last year if he didn't like the situation, he wasn't going to go to the NFL? That dude was on top of the fucking mountain when he said that. Dude is crawling back up the mountain now.
Dude,
you think
last year he should have went pro?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he hurt himself a lot this year with his play on the field, his antics.
What's a better situation though? He may have actually gotten what he wanted, bro. It's looking like the Patriots are going to end up with at least the number 2 pick, quite possibly the number 1 pick if Carolina fucks up.
I don't know.
I mean, you're looking at the Bears or the Patriots. And both of
honestly,
those,
the Bears are a better situation right now than the Patriots are.
right. And both of them are a better
Sadly.
situation than the Texans at that time.
Yeah.
And the Carolina Panthers now. Arizona, I don't think Arizona's ever in the mix. I've always been high on Kyler Murray. I feel the Arizona organization feels basically the same way. I don't know why.
I don't know how you're high on him. He's gotten to play this year and he has not looked good. You got what you got.
I don't know. I think he's looking fine for the situation. I sit differently with these quarterbacks, dude. I am not a burn him after a little while guy. He hasn't even finished his contract. He hasn't been healthy. Kyler Murray has issues, but Kyler Murray is better than Drake May, and you're not getting Caleb Williams.
We all thought Deshaun was better too, and Deshaun got that big contract, and he's just done nothing with Cleveland. I don't know. I think Kyler would do better. I just think Kyler Murray would be better in like Denver. I feel like he'd be better in like Denver.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, that Arizona likes him. I'm thinking for him, Arizona's not the spot.
I don't disagree with you. Arizona has had a little bit of time, but again, too, though, even sitting here, I hate Arizona because they make their players pay for the food. But really what it boils down to is Arizona can be questioned with how they're trying to build a team around Kyler. They didn't start with the offensive line. They grabbed fucking weapons, and now they're attempting to get this offensive line figured out. I think Arizona's in a much better situation than a lot of people realize, especially with the Kyler Murray thing.
We'll find out how they do their draft. Since they have a decent pick, they should be able to pick up a player that should affect them offensively a lot better than what they're doing right now.
And to wrap up my notes here, we were laughing about the RG3 thing. Him only being in the 10,000s, and I didn't even realize it, but later on I go, the reason he was probably the only one there is because he's probably the only one not playing. Come to find out, you had Johnny Manziel and Cam Newton. And
they weren't letting Manziel come because the party.
Those were the only
Manziel coming.
Those were the only 3 not playing. Everyone else is playing.
Yeah,
literally everyone else is still playing in the NFL. So yeah, you had Cam Newton and Johnny Manziel, and I think Cam Newton had a whole scenario about the Heisman situation being all fuckered up. Anyways, man, Jordan Love's got to calm down. Jordan Love's got to fucking calm down.
All right, yeah, we can wrap her up here.
Okay, final note. I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Do you think Andy Reid gives the best hugs?
Sideline hugs or post-game hug or just any hug?
Just imagine just getting a hug from Andy Reid.
You know what? I bet you he reminds me of the crazy uncle, and he's not going to give you a real hug. He's going to put his arm around your shoulder and do the old tap.
Something about him just makes me feel like Andy Reid would give one hell of a hug.
Big old walrus. Give you a big old fucking hug and a smooch.
Yeah. I think he's just one of where you get that the scruffiness of the tiny beard and just the he smells like French fries.
Oh yeah, French fries and chicken nuggets and Waffle House and hookers.
Well, my pizza's ready, man. I think that's about all I got for the show. I think you got anything else you want to bring up?
Nah, we're good. We're gonna be rolling through on Thursday with our boy Shelton Doucette.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that episode to come out. I'm pumped.
Yeah, hopefully we can fix the audio there. We had a few hiccups there. Hopefully we can get that straighten away tomorrow, and I can get working on that. And Chris can maybe give me some pointers, or he can help me with that, and we should be ready to roll. Chris has a promo out there for tomorrow. If you guys want to check our YouTube page out, there's some
Yeah,
hot clips in there.
it was nice too. He's doing a pretty good job. I'm pretty excited. He's definitely putting his mind to the grind. So, but for everyone else out there, listen, thank you so much. Thank you for all your likes, clicks, comments, shares, cares. We love them all. We appreciate you all. And the world is a crazy fucking place, and it's dark for a lot of people. So head on out there with that smile. Smile more.
Peace.